For my speed run of books before this app goes away, here is the books I'm reading now that are by my left hand in my reading chair. First is Judi Dench's Shakespeare, The Man Who Pays the Rent. This is a great take on Shakespeare by a woman who I just adore so much and really enjoyed reading this book about halfway through it. Awesome take on the Bard. Mafalda, A Social and Political History of Latin America's Global Comic. This was a thesis project about this incredibly important political cartoon out of Argentina, and it is a really great look at how comics can help change politics and all the politics around it. I don't know why this is such a fascinating piece of work and inspiring to someone who hopes to make something that can help change the world a little bit. The Jew and the Lotus. I was going to interview this guy, Kamenetz. Turns out he is the papa of a friend of mine. Hey, Anya. Then this is about a poet's rediscovery of Jewish identity in Buddhist India. He got to go on a trip of a bunch of rabbis who went to meet His Holiness in Dharamshala and talking about this connection between Judaism and Buddhism. Very cool. Another one by him is Stalking Elijah. This is Adventures with Today's Jewish Mystical Masters. So it's a look at more modern Jewish mysticism through a really great writer's perspective. This book, I have talked about a good bit. Studs Terkel's Hard Times. This is a book about the Great Depression. It is all oral histories. This is what I aim to do with myself, really. Studs Terkel, you can see, he's such a mensch. He had a radio show you can still listen to. And he just collected people's stories. That's all this is. And he just gave a little bit of context to who they were. It's an amazing way to share on a time period. And the Great Depression is a really important time to study. This is the autobiography of William Butler Yeats. I haven't got real far in this one, but I'm really intrigued because he's so important to the history of the occult. Then you've heard me talk about this a lot. Kessler's The Sleepwalkers. It's great on mankind's blind spot about the Earth going around the sun and not the other way around. One of the best pieces of science writing I've ever read. Let's keep this under 3 minutes. Mong's The Summing Up. I've never read any books by this author, but I really like his autobiography a lot, and I'm almost done with it. Slim little book. The Collected Works of John Reed, a very inspiring journalist, and he actually ended up getting buried in the wall around the Kremlin, but he was in Mexico. He covered World War I. Just really an amazing reporter, so very inspiring to me as a journalist. This is a new Ovid's Metamorphoses I just got as a gift. Thanks, Diana. And it is a feminist take that takes those things of someone in temple getting like seduced when really it was assaulted. And so apparently this is an amazing update on the language, and someone described it as removing the varnish from an old painting and making this book come to life even more. It's also a beautiful cover. This was a gift from my wife. Oh, thanks, Claire. This is Merlin Sheldrake's Entangled Life. This is the hot book of the season for understanding fungi, and this is the illustrated edition, so it's really nice for that. This guy, Sheldrake's cool. I mean, Rupert Sheldrake's his dad. He has a collection of cool music online, too. This was a present I got for myself. Thanks, Lex. This is the Folklore, Mythology, and Legends Standard Dictionary by Funk and Wagnalls. It's gigantic. It also includes a bunch of essays inside on certain people's folklore, which is part of the reason I'm so excited. This is a collection of children's picture books. I use this to decide what I'm going to buy. I've got a ton of those. I scan in pictures from Edmund Dulac and show them to the kids because they're amazing. I do the same thing with W. Heath Robinson. This is the Encyclopedia of Trees that my second-born Lucy likes so much. Hey, kiddo. See you in the future. A book on dragonology. And this was a book when I had more money than sense. The Natural History, but from the Smithsonian. This is an amazing collection of everything beautiful in nature. Oh, I have some more, so let's just make it a 5-minute video. This is a treatise on alchemy, the famous one, Atalanta Fugians, and the pictures are very well known. So I've been scanning these in as well. This is hieroglyphics of Horapollo. I want to do a big deep dive on this video because these are from 4th century. And so it might be the last gasp of Egyptian hieroglyphics being remembered from Egypt and then being forgotten. And not until we finally cracked the code, 200 years ago of what the hieroglyphics were. And so it's a whole bunch of images. And so for the Renaissance, this was an incredibly important book on symbols and what all of these symbols meant. And the graphics are very important for me. I've already used a couple of them in my graphic novels. This is an illustrator I really like, Alfred Cuban. He was a book illustrator, and so this is a really well done one because it has a great biography of him as well as his best work from all of these different books. Well, it must have been a hell of a way to make a living. Oh, look at that! Lucy made a crown. She found the Fèvre, the little baby. So she was queen of what is it, Assumption Day? I'm not very good with French. This is Faust by Goethe, and this was translated by Bayard Taylor, and I'm really lucky to have this beautiful edition. And Bayard Taylor is one of the great drug writers, and I really like his notes in this one. So this is my favorite edition of Faust. This is one of my favorite books in the world, though I've only got like a third of the way through maybe. Burton's The Anatomy of Melancholy, which is a gigantic book on sadness by this incredibly obsessive guy. This was 400 years ago or so. There's a reason he is constantly quoted, though probably not read because he's so gigantic. But I just enjoy having this right here by my left hand because it's such a intoxicatingly good piece of work. Goethe's Fairy Tale of the Green Snake and the Beautiful Lily. I want to read that to my kids. It's really hard for moderns to write fairy tales, but Goethe does a decent job. Rilke's Stories of God. There's some real jewels in here. And we have 2 left. This is my William James book. I just think he's probably the most intelligent American to have ever lived, the great theologian. This is actually signed by Dr. David Nutt, the great drug guy, because this is all I had for him to sign at Psychedelic Science when I saw him. And I remember him talking about how much he loved William James. So this is signed by him. And for the last book I have here is, this is great, Divine Wisdom, Divine Nature, The Messages of Rosicrucians, with a focus on Ketchner. So this is about the Rosicrucian visual language. And so a lot of the most famous books, visuals of alchemy and such, you're going to find in here. And so this is a really helpful book. I've scanned in a bunch of this for my graphic novels. So that's what's by my left hand. Let me know if you have any questions.